Madam President, as the St. Louisans were celebrating the Stanley Cup, people on the other side of our state in Kansas City received some great news, this time great news from the federal government when the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, announced on Thursday that 2 federal ag research agencies would be moving their headquarters to the Kansas City region from Washington, D.C. The Economic Research Service and the National Institute of Food and Agriculture together will bring more than 500 jobs to the Kansas City area. It's fantastic news for our state, for our region, I think also for the workers at those 2 agencies and their families. The point of the move is to get more important government offices closer to the customers they serve and to save the taxpayers money. And Kansas City will be a great place to do both of those things. Missouri is already home to more than 5,000 U.S. Department of Agricultural employees and contractors working for a dozen different department offices in the Department of Agriculture. But bringing these 2 agency headquarters to the state will put them right in the middle of some of the most exciting and cutting-edge innovation happening in the ag industry. Talk about being closer to your customers, the farmers of America, and closer to examples of innovation. I think this move and Secretary Perdue's decision is clearly going to show that that's the case. Kansas City's close to at least a dozen land-grant universities in our state. 2 of those would be the University of Missouri in Columbia and Lincoln University in Jefferson City. These institutions, along with their other land-grant institutions in the region, are preparing for the next generation of ag leaders to meet maybe the greatest challenge of all time as world food demand moves toward doubling between now and 2050, and world food need doubles between now and 2060. A lot more food is going to have to be grown on the same land with fewer inputs to meet our environmental concerns, our climate concerns, our other concerns, but still to feed the world in a way that we are uniquely positioned to be a lead partner in that partnership of feeding the world. The move that USDA has made will give them the opportunity to strengthen partnerships they already have and have even greater impact as they work to improve crop yields and develop risk management strategies. Our state is also a big part of the Kansas City Animal Health Corridor, which extends from Manhattan, Kansas to Columbia, Missouri. That corridor is home to more than 300 animal health companies. It's the largest concentration in the world of that business and includes 5 of the world's largest animal health companies. Relating these agencies will create a relocation where they can save taxpayers a lot of money. Secretary anticipates that almost $300 million will be saved over the next 15 years, and all the moving costs will be earned back within 12 months of the move. Hard to imagine an investment you make where you have a 100% payback in 12 months, but that's going to happen with this one. That frees up more resources to go toward grants and research instead of being paid to the department's landlords. It'll also be a huge upgrade, I think, for the life of people who will be federal employees living out of Washington and living in the middle of the country. Last month, the average household in Washington cost more than $600,000. In Kansas City, the average price was about a quarter of that. Now, you can find a $600,000 house in Kansas City, but it's not the average house being sold like it is here. I know that local banks and mortgage companies are standing ready to help those federal families as they move to Kansas City. And also, you know, now we've gone from Madam President to Mr. President as the senator from Florida takes the seat in charge of the Senate here for a while. You're making that decision with the current employees in mind, but you're also making that decision, more importantly, I would think, with future employees. Where's going to be the best place to recruit? Where will be the best place to encourage people to get graduate work and do other things that allows them to do their job better? I think there were other choices, but I certainly think the choice of Kansas City was a good one. It's a thriving economy right now with lots of job opportunities. Like the rest of the country, there are more jobs available than people looking for work. Missouri added 8,200 jobs last year, and we continue to see that happen. Our new neighbors will also find that Kansas City is the home to limitless cultural, educational, and recreational opportunities. Very appropriate to mention with my native Missourian, now the senator from Florida here in the chair. But, we got major league sports teams like the Royals, the Chiefs, Sporting Kansas City. We have a thriving theater culture, a world-class museum at the Nelson Atkins Art Museum, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Science City at Union Station, and that just names a few. The motto of the USDA is do right and feed everyone. By the way, we've been doing USDA agriculture. We've been doing research at the federal level before there was a USDA. In the 1850s, there was ag research going on right here in Washington, sponsored by the federal government. In 1862, when the USDA was formed, one of the principal reasons was research. These two facilities will be an important part of that. The people at ERS and NIFA join the many USDA colleagues they already have in our state. We think they'll find their mission easier and more rewarding than ever. It's a great time to look forward toward the future of agriculture. Certainly Missouri and Kansas City and Kansas and that entire region that hubs around Kansas City, Missouri, is excited to be a bigger part of that. Congratulations to those employees, and congratulations to the decision that Secretary Perdue has made to relocate those two Washington-based organizations at a place where they're going to be closer to the work they do.